Tuesday, the 30th day of Shvat, 5779, chapter 25. By reciting the Shema in the morning and in and evening, one is constantly aware of one's acceptance to serve God with self-sacrifice. We mentioned in the Shema, right, we learned that it has 49 letters. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, 49 letters. And Baruch Shem Kol Malchus has 49 letters. And then you have the kavanah, the intention of self-sacrifice in the Shema, in the morning and the evening, constitutes the number of 100. Trei Me'ah, as it says in the Zohar. So reciting the Shema in the morning and evening is one constantly aware of one's acceptance to serve God with self-sacrifice. The Alter Rebbe has demonstrated how being aware of one's willingness to sacrifice his life for God affects both the areas of turning away from evil and doing good. So the kavanah, this intention of self-sacrifice, is enabling us to turn away from evil and doing good. The observance of the negative and positive commandments, respectively, it also helps that. It follows that the awareness should constantly be on one's mind, so that he will always be ready to apply it to his performance of the mitzvahs. So this awareness of self-sacrifice helps us to stay sur merah, to refrain from evil, and asa tov, and doing good, being involved with the positive mitzvahs, and it helps us motivate us to apply this energy to the performance of the mitzvahs. Uv'zeh yuvan, now we can understand, in light of the above, lama tziva Moshe Rabbeinu olav hasholem b'mishnah Torah l'der shenichnasu la'aretz likros kriyat shema pamayim b'chol yom lekabel olav malchus shamayim b'mesirus nefesh. It will be understood why Moshe Rabbeinu, peace upon him, commanded in the book of Deuteronomy, not in the earlier books of the Bible addressed to the generation of Jews who wandered in the desert, but to the generation that entered the Holy Land, that they too, and not only the subsequent generations, recite the Shema twice daily, the intention in the Shema being to acknowledge the kingdom of heaven with self-sacrifice. The Shema teaches us to accept martyrdom for the sanctification of God's name. Self-sacrifice. Now, one may ask, why was it necessary for our forefathers to prepare themselves for martyrdom? Had they not been promised that God will lay the fear and dread of you upon all the inhabitants of the land? So if everyone is afraid of you, what do you need self-sacrifice for? They had no reason to fear that anyone would attempt to force them to deny the kingdom of heaven, necessitating self-sacrifice to resist such efforts. In this sense, they were as well protected as the Jews who traveled the desert with Moshe, who were not commanded to recite the Shema. We must therefore conclude that preparation for martyrdom is necessary not only to ensure that it will be put into practice if and when necessary, אלא משום שקיום התורה ומצוות ישראל תלוי בזה שיזכה תמיד דין ומסירות נפש לאהבה לייחוד שיהיה קבוע בליבו תמיד ממש. יום ולילה לא משמע זיכרונו. So the reason why we have to have it in mind, even though it might never happen, but because the fulfillment of the Torah and its commandment is contingent on one's being constantly aware of his readiness to surrender his life to God for the sake of his unity. That a person remember that he would be willing to sacrifice his life for the sake of God's unity. If the situation would warrant it, which is the message contained in the Shema, He must therefore recite, if twice daily, morning and evening, so that this awareness will be fixed permanently in his heart and will not depart from his memory night and day. In this way, one is able to withstand his evil inclination and to vanquish it at every time and every moment. Even after Moshe passing, whenever Jews are engaged in an intense struggle with the evil inclination, as it is written, God said to Moshe, "Behold, you are about to sleep with your fathers, and this people will rise up and stray." Kaniz Kalel has explained above that when one remembers that he would be prepared to suffer martyrdom for his love of God and his belief in God's unity, he will surely be able to overcome his evil inclination and perform all the mitzvahs. So we see why we need it. We need to remember the concept of self-sacrifice. It helps us do the mitzvahs. Bruchim to you.